went, this is kind of cool, I'm reading a script, I'm getting a blowjob, my sister's shagging her brother. It's a true story. And I said, that sounds amazing. And here we are.
Hey, Lena, I'm getting a blowjob.
That is a quote.
Well, did you ever consider doing Tyrion with that voice?
Hey, Lannister, we space this.
Of course, at a convention like this, you get the opportunity to meet the fans and hear their feedback and all their comments. But you can do that anytime you want by going on the internet and visiting sites like Tumblr and Facebook posts. Do you often do that and see like the memes and the viral, like the parodies and all the things that are out there? Do you pay attention to that stuff?
Peter's never off it. I know. Directly into your brain.
I don't surf for comments about us because they're all really great and it'll just go to my head.
Yours are.
But I love the spoofs. I love my favorite new one is the Baywatch version of Game of Thrones on the internet. It's really funny. I like that one.
Cool.
So there's one with twin sisters playing harps in the middle of the castle theme song.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
So post some memes, they'll see them. Let's open it up to the floor for questions. Hello, sir.
Hi everyone. Thanks very much for coming. It's a great honor to have the first question. I'd like to ask on character development. I know a few of the actors from the show have read ahead in the books and they know the direction the characters are going to go. I'm not going to spoil anything, don't. I'm wondering what your process is like for both of you when you're reading the script. Do you know what's coming up? Have you read to the 5th book? Do you talk to George and find out the exact direction to where Tyrion and Cersei are going?
I haven't read the books because I'm one of those people who I can't read the books after I see the movies, and I can't read. Actually, yes. Anyway, but of course, out of curiosity, with Dave and Dan and Brian, who's our story editor, they know everything, so I can't help but ask them. So I know up until what George has written, what happens to Tyrion. Yes. I get the Cliff Notes.
I also have not read the books.
Which is why George is probably killing off Tyrion and Cersei in book 6. Because he knows that we haven't. I think we're the only two in the cast that haven't read it.
We did a panel sitting next to George the other day, and we both had to say we haven't read the book. So, we might die. I actually, a lot of my friends and my mum read them. And so I kind of gather bits of information from them, and of course we get the scripts from Dave and Dan. And, you know, there's a little bit of intuitive use of where they're going. Can I just say thanks for coming? It's a little bit overwhelming. There's not.
I feel like we're the opening act for a hockey game or something.
You were told?
Yeah. What are you guys really here for?
They're like, we're in the wrong room, we can't leave now.
Let's go back to the floor.
Hi. I know in season 2 there's a scene between you two in which Cersei pushes Tyrion, and as I understand it, that wasn't planned. So I was wondering if you guys have the opportunity to do a lot of ad-libbing with your lines or improv, depending on if you think the character would say something or do something.
Correct, that wasn't planned. Lena had a protein shake that morning. And I had probably had some pints the night before. I loved it, it worked. I love happy accidents like that, personally. But, no, I mean, those scripts are so good. It's tricky to change anything. And I think that's arrogant of an actor to think they can. I mean, there are things on the day that sometimes, given the environment, you know, they will write a scene for a sunny day and it's pouring rain, and we'll make do at the last minute and change things up. But and Dave and Dan and the other writers are always there, which is a huge help. And they're always open to any suggestions, but it's really a minimum amount because it's poetry.
Just quickly, I want to ask you, you talked a little bit about George R.
Oh yes.
Oh.
This is a beer.
Crazy up in here, yo.
We thought you were going to be about 40 people. We saw this amount and we both requested alcohol.
Well, it's primarily Canadian, so they're fairly harmless.
You mentioned George R. R. Martin briefly. How much interaction do you have with him? How involved is he with the day-to-day and week-to-week of the show, and what's that like working with him?
We saw George early on, didn't we? He was kind of around in season 1.
And they told him to go away and start writing books 5, 6, 7. He really was around a lot more during season 1. And
yeah, just like, this is great. We're like, can you write more stories?
we're catching up.
Does he like to talk to you about the characters? Did you talk with him a lot about the characters, or did you leave that more to the showrunners and to the writers?
You know, I kind of met George a few times over the last 3 years, and he's so, as you know, who've seen him speak, he's so cool, and he loves his characters, you know what I mean? Like he says, I know these guys inside out. I've lived with them for like 17 years, and I just like to listen when he speaks.
He'd be funny too. I've seen him in interviews be very, very funny.
He's funny and he has a lot of power in his hands.
Hello.
Hi guys, thanks for coming. I just wanted to ask you guys, what's one of your favorite parts about being on